Welcome to Almost Live, a deep dive with a shallow host. My name is Bob Perfect, and I am your host. This is a show where we get to know some people and the projects that they are doing. Some South Africans. It is a viewer-supported show, so if you like what you're watching, you can hit the basket. Damn it, I always screw it up. Okay, the basket thing, it's over there, or you can hit the Patreon link below, and you can support the show that way. That's all the business stuff out of the way. But on the line, we've got a man who's all about the business, Mr. Robin Thirdfloor. How's it going, bro?
I'm awesome, bro. How are you?
Not too bad. It's been a long week and it's only 2 days in, but like a good one, you know.
For sure.
And yourself, how things going?
It's pretty cool. I think this is like the most growing up I've had to do in my life, bro. Like, it's the most growing up. Like, in just like a few months, I've had to grow up so much, bro. It's like such a crazy thing for me.
Like, what's one of the biggest ways you feel like you've grown?
I think like mentally, in terms of just like how I think, you know. I've grown, um like financial, like literacy and stuff, like learning about finances, because I always thought those types of things would take care of themselves because I plan to be like this superstar. So it's like, those things will just take care of themselves. I'll just have,
I'll
stuff
just have
that
a
will
lot of
just,
money, so I don't need to
happen.
worry.
Exactly, So it was always just like that. And now I'm realizing that even if it is like that, like even if like I get that superstardom that I want or whatever, but I still need to somehow make an effort to learn about finances.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I still remember like an old Chris Rock joke. Can't remember who it was about, but like, about being rich and just like how like, your kids with a bad coke habit can like, knock you out essentially. Like, you're no longer rich. So you've got to
Uh,
definitely be like smart when it comes to money.
for sure, for
That's
sure, for sure. So yeah, I've learned a lot about like money during this time. I've learned a lot about myself also, just with regards to like who I am. Because like for majority of like the first part of like the lockdown, I kinda wasn't like affected in a way, because I thought it was just gonna end. Just like after 2 weeks, two 3 weeks, good, and
I was
then
thinking
it
like
hit
two
me.
months. Like it was like 2, 3 months max. Like I thought we'd be good by now. Well, I was hoping. Like I don't know
Yeah.
if I thought that. A part of me
So
thought like I'm never going to be on stage again. And the other part was like, no, soon, soon, soon.
uh. But also that's just like Bob. Like you always think the worst. Like you also like you're one of the people that I know that's very comfortable with thinking of the worst, bro. Like I get like I feel like some sort of betrayal to my positive and like super I don't know, optimistic self, who's I'm thinking like the worst of something. So yeah, like for me, it only hit after a month. I was like, whoa, okay. It's actually like a real thing now. Like it's
and
actually
how
like a real thing. And pardon?
and how did that actually like affect things? Because you're someone who is a live performer. I know you've also got like a lot of other things going, and you've got your fingers in many different pies, but a large portion of what you do is live
Hmm,
performance.
for sure.
So like, so how did you yeah, how did you find that month of like not being able to perform and then looking at things going, damn, like what do I do now?
Yeah, nah. As I said, like for me, it took a while to sort of like, process that because I was still making the plans that I had, It's like, oh, okay, we need to shoot a video on the, we need to, we have that, those activations that we wouldn't do at that place, Nyana, and whatever. And it just hit me like off the bat. I'm like, wait, all these places are closing down. Like places are closing down. People are really taking this thing seriously, and people that I'm hitting up for like collabs in terms of like to work, whether it's like videographers or any other types of like creatives. It's legit on some, yo, don't you know what's happening out there, bro? Like, don't you know, like, we are experiencing this right now. This is what we are experiencing. And yeah, it took me a while, bro. Like a month. I think it was a good month. Then I realized. And then after that, I feel like I had like a week to sort of just like chill and process
Okay.
it.
Okay, I was wondering, yeah,
Yeah,
because
just
like
like
I know you're the type of person who's like, always on that positive wave, always on that, like your slogan's literally like, another day to be great. But then it's almost like, I
bro,
don't know if I can be great today. Like, like when it
right?
comes to this
It
thing.
was just like another day, I'm not too sure what is happening today. It's a weird one today, type of thing, bro. That was like the vibes for me, and as I said, like it took a while for me to sort of like process what is actually happening. I even read about it actually, that different people react differently to like trauma because we are all somehow, experiencing trauma,
Yeah, on a massive scale.
regards to, yeah, like with regards to just having so many plans and then having to shift your plans now because of this, and yeah, so for me, yeah, it took like a month, and then after that, I feel like I kind of grew more creative because now I was more
Okay.
accepting of the situation, you know. Like after that week that I wasn't doing anything, I was just like on watching Netflix, eating junk food, and it was just like,
I had one of
gee, I'm
those
I'm
weeks
I'm not
too.
doing anything.
I've had a few of those weeks actually.
Yeah, bro, I had just one, and then after that, I was like, okay, cool. Right now, what is happening is this. I've accepted it. You know,
Yeah,
this is what is happening,
on
and
some Zen
now
shit
I
there,
need to
hey.
find solutions. Pardon?
Like that's like kind of where I'm at the moment, like on that like Zen shit like kind of vibe. Like I'm literally reading Zen and the Arts of
Yeah.
Motorcycle Maintenance and like been watching Alan Watts videos and stuff like that. So I'm fully just like in that mindset
Oh,
of well of
you
just like let's just let's just deal with it. Let's just whatever I can do, I'm going to try and do. Like what is the situation that I'm
sure.
facing myself with, and what can I do with what I've got now? Because it sucks not being able to get on stage, bro. Like it is. I know every
Mm.
comedian is really at the moment, like, because it's also different for us, like for you, you can like still perform like through the camera and like it's different and it's difficult, I can imagine, and we'll chat about it right now. But for us, it's like not hearing the
Mm.
laughs is very difficult. But for you, you've been doing a weekly like live performance kind of hangout session through Zoom called the Third Floor Thursdays. How's that been going?
Bro. So third floor Thursdays. Let me just start with the name, right? Third floor Thursdays is a name that I've always had. Like I've always felt like I want to do something someday that I'm going to call third floor Thursdays. I don't know what it is, but at some point I want to do something called third floor Thursdays, you know. And So when I realized, it's okay, sharp, this is what is happening right now. We are in the middle of a pandemic. We are experiencing a pandemic, and like, you can't really do things like how you wanted to do things, because myself and Jaeger, had plans for this year, which involved like a lot of very like outdoor activation type of stuff. You
You
know,
mind
um,
dropping one thing, or like, is there anything you can mention?
what I can say is that, like, it was stuff in preparation for my album, because
Oh, okay, cool.
my debut album was supposed to drop this year. But then we've kind of moved it back a bit, just to see, because we have like this really intense rollout plan that includes a whole lot of like activations, as going to schools, going to universities, and we really wanted to go like
To the
all
people.
out for it. Yeah. So we had plans, and I kept insisting. I'm like, no, let's do it, it's okay, it's okay. And they're like, okay, we'll see. And we kept having all like these every 3 days type of updates, and you know and yeah, and then we realized, which I know it's not gonna happen, bro. It's not gonna happen. uh so we had to think on our feet as to what can be done now, with this situation, with what the world is facing. Is there a creative way in which we can still somehow entertain people,
Yeah.
in a creative way, and just, in a way, just like have a platform whereby it's very intimate, and I can just be myself for whatever time we have. And that was the idea of Third Floor Thursdays as a live stream um event.
Have
That's how
you
it came
found
about.
it's allowed you to explore like a different side to yourself in that way, like where you get to share a bit more of yourself and you get to like, and I know it's something that like even in your live shows that like when you like, I remember that gig that you did at in town, trying to remember, the Backpackers of Curiosity,
Curiosity.
like that, yeah, like
Yeah,
that
yeah.
gig, like you put like the whole like thing together, and it was very much like a well considered, you were hosting the event. And like, do you feel like this has given you
Yeah.
more of that, like the opportunity to be a host?
Yeah, I feel like for all my shows, well, majority of all the shows that I curate on my own, it's always that vibe, and I feel like with also this one, it's just the same thing. I get to control the experience, because I have this thing, you would see, like, um with artists are an experience, right? Like, art artists are an experience in terms of just like, what do you bring to the table, so in a way, I just want people to remember me for providing a certain experience. So with everything that I do with like these shows, I always want to curate something that's authentically me, because you don't get that time or that opportunity to do that at like festivals or like shows where there's other artists on the bill.
Where you've got two songs to perform?
Right? So when I do something that's my own, like, I always want to just go out and create an experience whereby it's a very it can have like a lot of people, but still feel very like intimate, still feel like it's just me and the person, you know
And do you feel that's what people have like come to and like love about your work essentially, is that thing that of like it's a personal connection and like you do bring that into multiple aspects of what you do?
Yes, yes. I definitely feel like um the connection with people who like my stuff, who follow my stuff, is one that's beyond the music. Because most of the time, even like a lot of people who listen to my music don't hear what I'm saying. And it's always just like
I
a thing
mean,
of, I feel like it goes beyond that. Like I feel like it goes beyond just the music. The music sharp, but like it's something that's beyond that. It's like a connection, as you said, like a connection whereby it just transcends the music. It's like more of like a personal thing, where we connect on that in terms of um I guess maybe even my narrative with regards to my artistry, that people connect to, and everything else that, that I incorporate into like the music or into my career, whether it's like merch or the shows or, just like other components, people will sort of like latch onto that because already they like the narrative, connect with the narrative.
I get that. How has the merch side of things been since lockdown? I see you've been pushing that a little bit harder. Oh wait, we've got a slight connection issue here with Robin. Okay, there, cool. You're back. You went black screen on us for a split second, but I think you're back
Yeah,
now.
yeah. I
Um,
think it's because, yeah. Wait, just give me a moment. I think it's because there was a call here.
uh,
Um,
that's the awkward thing about doing these things on cell phones. Sometimes I've always said like I want to make a cell phone that can't take calls. Like that's it. Like it can do everything else, but just cannot receive phone calls. That would make me the happiest man in the world. How you doing there? You there? Okay, I think Robin is jammed up there a little bit, but I'll keep talking to you guys and I'll let you know. Like I said, you can check out more content over on almostperfect.co.za. I've written a few articles, I've written a few top 5 lists. I've also got 70, nearly 70 podcasts under the belt. The Almost Perfect podcast, which is a podcast where we take a look each week at a different South African creative, usually South African. We've had one non-South African so far. We get different creatives together and we chat to them and we find out, okay, this is now gonna get awkward. Let me try to get rid of the banner and the branding. We will go to bam. Hey everybody. Yeah, so we're having some technical difficulties currently with some P-Ware with Robin Third Floor. I will have him back in just a second. But like I was saying, you can check out almostperfect.co.za for some more content. Here we go. I think he is back. He's coming back now. Add to stream. Bam, bam. Overlays back. And we'll have Robin Third Floor back in just a second. There we go.
I'm
Cool.
back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back.
Cool.
So
Handled that
sorry
like an
about that,
absolute
bro.
pro. Don't worry. That was some cool practice for me. Some good experience on handling things going wrong on the fly. So thank you for coming
Oh, okay,
back.
cool.
Um, I'm glad you didn't leave me here on my own for the rest of the show, though. That would have got a little awkward. We would have had to do some improv, like here in my lounge.
For sure. Ah, man, so sorry about that. I forgot that I needed to switch off the calls and stuff. So now it's just coming through.
It's all good, bro. Yeah, like I've got that problem too because I'm doing this through my phone as well. So if someone tries to call me now, hopefully everyone knows that this is what I'm doing right now. So hopefully that won't happen. But I wonder
Bro,
one day when
bro.
it's going to. But that's the thing. This is the new normal, as everyone says. You gotta adapt on the fly, literally, because we're not doing things in TV studios. We're not doing things, in fancy music studios. It's not like, yeah, it's very DIY. Although I know like your production for Thirdfloor Thursdays is pretty decent. You've got Damien Ruitz handling stuff there, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And Ryan. Ryan.
Ryan from
From
Ryan.
Ryan. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
dope. So it's the Roots Up crew.
For sure, for sure, for sure. So We got them, and then we have Hank from Easy Easy in Joburg, handling the Zoom admin.
Oh, cool. Henk van der Scaife.
Yes.
Oh, dope. Awesome. Because I see he's doing that stuff for Park Acoustics. So that's really rad that he's using it
Mm,
for you guys as well. Cool. Okay, that's a dope team.
mm, 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 mm.
So
Yeah,
you
because
found like
also,
has
pardon?
also go carry on.
No, no, no. I was just saying that, like, so when we wanted to start like the Zoom stuff, because we tested the Zoom concerts a bit. I think it was like last month, and we found that they were cool. The reception was cool, but like the the sound wasn't like the best, and we
Yeah.
tried to figure out like how we could sort of like work that, and then I was introduced to Hank, um, and told that he specializes in that. So yeah, it was pretty dope. You know, meeting up with him. He's a really really cool guy, and also really, just like really
Yeah.
dope at what he does. Yeah.
Yeah. No, Hank's someone who is on my list to interview for the podcast actually, just because he's done some amazing things in South African music, like genuinely. But one
Mm.
of the cool things about this project is that Jagermeister's gotten involved and helped you out. You've been working with them for quite a long time. How did that relationship start?
How did it start? I needed booze for a music video. Right? I needed booze
Sure.
for a music video. I remember we were shooting the video for Some Danger,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And we needed booze for that music video. And I think I had met this other lady at a festival, at the festival that you booked me for, actually.
At Outland.
Um, yeah, there's this lady that I met at Outland, and she was like a
Who was it? Was
promo.
it
Those pardon?
who was it? Like, because I was gonna start naming names, but I don't actually want to start naming names because I might get them all wrong.
Let's just leave it there. Let's just leave it there. It's like there's this lady I met at the festival, and well, I realized that she was like a promo girl for them, right? And I asked her to help, get me a contact at like the office so I could speak to someone. And I remember it was a very easy process for me. And I got like someone, and they gave me like a couple of bottles. They asked who I was, sent through like the stuff, and they gave me a few bottles. And I remember after that, the guy left. So the guy that was my contact, he left there, right?
I've had
And
those
then
kind of situations. It's why I don't get free Adidas shoes anymore because the people who
ah,
work at Adidas now don't know who I am.
ooh, bro, it's the worst actually. But I was lucky because this guy passed my contact to the person who took over, right? And
Yeah,
so I was in contact with that person. So every time I was doing something, just like a video or whatever, I'd hit them up. They'd give me like product. We just worked on like a very like just product relationship, for a couple of years. Um, then the opportunity of being a Jaeger X ambassador came up,
yeah,
where they just wanted to partner up with like creatives from around like the country, so whether you draw or you make music or whatever, not necessarily make music. It was just for every other thing besides music, because they had a
they
music
had musicians.
program.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I kind of entered that, and I didn't enter myself as like a musician. I was just like, I entered myself as like a creative. So the
yeah, because
relationship
you've got a
got
lot of
stronger
like
then.
entrepreneurial. creative stuff as well. So it's like you
Yeah,
can go like, hey, I'm not just a musician.
yeah, yeah. So I pitched for that. I got that. Um, and then I guess over time, just being introduced to everybody who is like on the team, um, kind of just got moved into like Jaeger music instead of just like Jaeger X, you know. And then that was just it, you know. Ever since we've
So it's
just been
kind of
working.
so it's like a long organic process essentially where like you reached out, they gave you a little bit in the beginning and you just
Mm.
continually worked on that. So, like it wasn't like this like you sent them a proposal being like, yo, how's 10K? I'll give you like 20,000 views or whatever like that. You were like, how's some bottles of
Nah,
Jaeger?
nah.
Like for the music video. And
Pardon?
they were like, yeah, that sounds good. You were just like, have some bottles of
Yeah.
Jaeger for my music video. And they're like, yeah, that sounds good. And then next time you're like, have some bottles of Jaeger for my party. And they were like, yeah, that sounds good. Until eventually, like, the relationship was like built into what it is now.
Yeah. It was very like, and I think that's like what a lot of people don't understand though with like brands, you
Yeah.
know, because essentially there are people like humans behind brands, you know. So wherever there's humans, there needs to be a human touch, a human element to it, you know, like you have to connect with humans, you know. It's not just like a transactional thing where it's like, give me this, I give you this, and then bounce, you know. It's like a,
Yeah.
you build a relationship whereby you you know, just like something that's over time, you know. And I guess like as creatives we forget that, you know, sometimes, because I guess we hungry, you know. Like when you're hungry you can't think that far, like you can't think longevity, you
And you
can't
also
think
think
that
everyone's
I
out to
need.
use you and like, you're like, I'm bringing value. Like, why aren't you giving me money? And like the brand's like, yo, we got money. Like, we got everything we need. Like, like, what do you like?
Yeah,
You need to actually bring value to the table. And do you feel like with the two, like with the partnership you have with Jagermeister, it's mutually beneficial?
for sure, for sure. I mean, besides the fact that I've turned almost all my friends and people that I know into like big Jaeger drinkers now, you know. um I feel like um we sort of like, our brands are like they align, you know. um just in terms of like very, very daring, very experimental, you know,
Okay.
and always trying out new things, because like
And you
at
also you work with
Jaeger
Germans.
no idea is too wild. Pardon, bro?
I said you work with Germans.
Not yet. Not yet.
Don't haven't
Not yet.
haven't you got a German producer behind you? No.
He's a Swiss producer. Well, kind of German, I
Deja.
think.
Okay, Deja's Swiss, but like he can speak German, but he's Swiss. Okay, my bad, my bad.
Yeah, yeah. So, like, I feel like the partnership just makes sense because of like the mentalities that we have. You know, like no idea is big. Like no idea is crazy. They always want to push the boundaries. You know, and I like that with just like working with brands. It always has to be a perfect match, you know, just in terms of like our brand direction, you know, and they have showed that like for a while now that hey, we are on the same, you know, page.
And what do you feel like they get from you?
Huh. I mean, what do they get from me? This is a tricky one. But like I think relevance in terms of um a lot of my demographic, you know, like Um, because as much as like there's a lot of following in terms of like my music and stuff within like suburban areas, but like I come with like a big um following and respect from the townships, you know, and that's one of the markets where they do have presence, but like not as much,
Sure.
So as someone who's like, I feel like I can cross over, to those types of sides. We had this tour thing we did. I think it was 2 years ago or a year ago. I brought Miss You with me and
Oh yeah.
Rhea Black. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we had like this township tour where we did like three townships, and it was really really cool. The reception was really really cool. And I think, yeah, I think that's the thing, with regards to my target audience. It's very diverse, so when you look at people maybe that they've worked with before, it might have um been
Been a bit too
just
niche.
people who are more in line, but like with me it's like very very diverse, and they can be able to reach, like various types of people.
Cool. And speaking of reaching various types of people, how can people get involved in Third Floor Thursdays? It's happening. It's happening again this week,
um
right?
yes, yes. So I post, I normally post the link. I think I should post tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday, right? Yeah, I
Yeah.
normally post on Wednesday the link, and then people can just have it, and then on Thursday, we are live at 7 p.m. Bless you, man. Bless you.
Thanks.
At
That's a
seven
new
we are
experience.
live. Pardon, bro.
So that's a new experience. Sneezing on air.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say someone saying bless you is a new experience.
Oh no, I've been blessed many times. It's just never really worked.
Wow.
But
Wow,
yeah,
bro.
like you're saying, so you'll
Wow.
post the link. You'll post the link on your socials, and then what? People just come
Yeah.
join on Zoom. Isn't there a limit on Zoom though? Or am
Yes.
I?
Um so that's why we've also started streaming on my Facebook page now.
Oh, snap! Cool.
Last week's one, yeah, last week's one we did that. But it was like a surprise for people, and they kind of liked that surprise, I guess, just judging from like the comments and stuff. So I think we're going to keep that also for this week as well. But yeah, the reception's been really cool. Um, just also like the interactions with the people, we get to speak. I get to hear like feedback on like songs and stuff. It's so crazy, but like when you make a song, and sometimes you just make a song, and it gets to someone else in a different way, and to actually hear the person now telling you about like how it affects them, telling you about like how it changed their life. And you're just like, are you serious? Like, are you serious? Like, is it that deep, bro? Like, is it that deep? You know? And yeah, so for like third floor Thursdays, we open up that also, just like very interactive vibes, very like intimate vibes where people can just ask stuff, you know, I could share stuff also, meanings behind songs that, that I probably have never really shared. I can go on that stage and share stuff, about like
You can be
what
yeah.
inspired the song. because normally like you'd wait for a question by guys like Bob, who would ask you what was the
In an
meaning behind
interview,
that
like
song.
for yeah, for a magazine or for like a website, and then they would also cut it and quote it so that it's like half of what you said. And yeah, so like now you actually get to
Exactly.
go, here's what I mean entirely.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I kind of control the narrative. It's not edited, it's uncensored. I could literally just stop the music while it's playing and be like, wait. So I needed to, make that line clear. There's a line that I say this and whatever, 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 and I control that. Okay, maybe it's not that wild, but like, like maybe after the songs, I could, share stuff, might not stop the performance in between, like it going. But yeah.
There might be a
Yeah,
little
bro, like
potential, but yeah.
see, you know. So yeah, but
But
the
it could also
reception has
be
been really well.
if the moment strikes, like that would be, like it's something you can do now, and it's not like that different, and it's not that weird because like at a live show, like if you do that, the whole party is just like, wait, what? Like, but now everyone's chilling at home. It's a
Exactly.
whole different thing, yeah. So you can be more
Yeah,
intimate. Anyway, I want to
for
thank you for
sure.
your time. It does bring us to the end here, bro. Where can people find you on the internet?
Oh, flip. We are about to get done already. Oh,
Yeah, dude.
time flies when you're having fun, bro.
Yeah, dude, definitely. And like, I can't wait
Um,
until we get to do shit live again. But for now, yeah, like it's cool that we get to at least do this.
mm, 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 mm. So, Robin Third Floor on Facebook, at Robin Raps Good on Instagram, at Robin Third Floor on Twitter. That's where you find me.
Cool. And then yeah, so
And
we
Robin
got
Third
third floor
Floor is
Thursday.
everywhere. On YouTube, whatever, on Apple Music, Deezer, Spotify. You can just find me. The music's there, you know.
And then
Also, please,
last,
guys, check out the collaborations that I do. Also, you know, like not just my music, but like the collaborations that I do. Because I come through with the collabs also. Like I come through with those verses. So please, please check those out. I really feel like people sleep on my feature verses, okay? Like I really feel like people sleep on those. So please check out my music, but also check out the music I'm featured on. Okay. Yeah, I feel like I'm done.
I love that. Thank you. Yeah, thanks for getting that off your chest. I feel like the people needed to know that. So
Bro, I
go
feel
check out
lighter. I feel
go
lighter.
go check out Robert Third Floor's featured verses and then come join him. I'll be there this Thursday as well on Third Floor Thursdays on Zoom. Check out Robin Third Floor's all his social medias, and you can find the link to that. Thank you for joining us. You can support the show on, but fuck, one day I'm gonna point and it's gonna be in the right direction. It wasn't today. Bam! You can support the show on Busker.
Yeah.
Just scan that, give me money, and it helps make it look pretty, like you can see here. Or you can subscribe to Patreon below, or you can buy an almost perfect mug. And you've got a website as well. Let's quickly punt that for the people there, Robin.
So my website.
Yes, with all your merch.
So yeah, I have this online store. It's called Some Danger Lifestyle. Um, just recently launched that. Thank you for reminding me, bro. So much on my mind. But yeah, thank you for reminding me. Some Danger Lifestyle. You can find everything that's Robin Third Floor there. Somedangerlifestyle.com. If you go on my Instagram, I have it on my bio. Yeah, you find everything that's Robin Third Floor. I'm adding an item almost every week, a new item every week. So yeah, check that out. I'm really, really excited about that. Hey, like the reception has also been really like dope for that also.
Sweet. Cool. Well, thank you so much for your time, bro. And yeah, go buy my merch. Go buy Robin Third Floor merch, and then we'll see you at Zoom on Thursday with Third Floor Thursdays. Later.
Ah, bro.